All right, gentlemen, welcome to London Football TV Live. Essentially, probably the last one of these we'll do in a prediction version, but maybe we'll do a little recap on the champ game. But thanks again for joining us here on London Football TV. You got Joe Harris, Everett, the coach Ron, and of course, I'm Adam Melrose here. And it might be a bit of a shorter program this evening, sir. Obviously, not as many games to talk about and not as many predictions to make, but good week. Do you guys catch any of the live games? Obviously, Everett, you were at a couple of them as well too.
I had our junior team we were playing, so unfortunately I couldn't get to the senior game because I am a teacher. I do have to teach.
True enough.
So watched some on film, but no, was at our junior game.
Gotcha. And then Joe, you made it down to the South Banting.
I was at Password Park or One Password Park.
Beautiful.
It was a good game.
Yeah.
To the fourth quarter.
Yeah, well, let's expand on that in a minute. And then, Ron, I know they keep putting all these games during the day when you've got to work. Same here, but let's jump into it. So the counties in the semis, obviously College Ave having a bit of an upset over Ingersoll here. Obviously, across the board, we all picked Cass. The poll had Cass at 64%. Again, unfortunately, not a lot of great content online from this game, but I think we all saw the way this was going. But Ingersoll in the quarters did have a nice little upset to get themselves there, right? So I think unless you guys have any feedback on that, we can jump into the next one, which was the East Elgin Joe's game. We were Joe's across the board, 79% there too. But I always like it when you see this where, almost an 80% from the public. But Elgin still puts 8 points up, right? I'd like details. If you were at that game, actually, I'm going to open up the chat here. If you were at that game, fill us in. What was that? A score and a 2-pointer? Was that a safety? Like, how'd you get there? I'd love.
I could pick up the phone and find out.
Cracker. Yeah, we should have found out here.
Yeah,
we'll do better next time.
Yeah.
But it's so no secrets there. And then the game that you did make it to, Joe. Obviously, Banting with the 14-11 win here. Shervs, who unfortunately couldn't make it, he's coaching London Minor All-Stars and I think babysitters and all this other good stuff. I'm sure he's watching. We'll get his predictions afterwards, but was the lone wolf on this one. And Joe, can you fill us in? I got your selfie picture as well too, which was great.
What selfie picture?
Little sideline selfie.
It's in the group chat.
Fill us in on this one because I did have I had a chat with Andre Thompson a bit too, who was beating himself up a bit, but it sounds like a good. So
plays great.
Yeah, fill us in on the game. You were there, so
this regular season game was awesome as well, right? Once again, it was really tight, a lot less scoring. It felt like both sides had kind of figured out what was happening. And then, unfortunately, I'm going to be nice and not say too many rude things about refs. But two OCs had, in my opinion, the best player in the city kicked out, which means he won't be playing next week either. And when that happened, that's when South started to come downhill. And they had a couple chances they just couldn't finish. Banting move number 1, who we've talked about a lot this year, come in and play quarterback, and Wildcat Ron
Charles
said that.
Yeah.
Like, that's the move to make. And he did a good job. You can't replace 14 on defense, though.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that plays out next week, I guess.
Yeah, a bit of an interesting conversation in the local circles about the OCs where, as soon as I heard that, I'm like, man, 2 OCs get a kid kicked out. Must have been something pretty serious. I heard it was a little more taunting is what the OC calls
the
were.
First one was.
Yeah.
And I get that. I went over and talked to some of the OUA guys afterwards. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, no, he got kicked out.
Yeah.
And they're like, that makes no sense. And then the South coaches, same thing. They thought he was hurt. He was limping. But they didn't know he was actually kicked out. And maybe you guys have more experience coaching at all sorts of different levels. Like, why not an objectable, like a UC, not an OC? Like, give 15 yards.
15s or 15s.
15s or 15s?
15s or 15s. So, objectionable conduct, unnecessary roughness, 15s or 15s. That's part of the rule. Now, in the summer ball, you need 3 to be ejected. So that's why I was like, hey, wait a second here. Is he out for the next game, or was he just removed from the last game? Or so
everyone I've talked to said yes.
That he's out. Yeah.
That is the rule. Mm-hmm. And you
rule.
get 2, you're kicked out for the next game. no matter what, there's no appeals. That is the rule. You can have opinions on what the rule is, but the rule is the rule, and rules are rules. And like Kramer says in Seinfeld, without rules, there's chaos. So, yes, the McKay, exceptional player, great player. Feel awful for him as an individual, as a kid. He's grade 12. That's unless he comes back, but it doesn't sound like.
I thought
Or is he grade 11?
I think he's
grade
13.
12?
I think he's the 13.
He's a
Yeah.
13th.
Yeah.
So this is his last game of high school football that he's not going to be able to play in. And he's a great player on the field, a great talent, and feel bad for him as an individual. But that's the rules. We can't, if you apply rules differently to because of what number the jersey is or the name on the back,
Yeah.
then that just discredits. And to think, not that, I don't know, if people are saying the game is any less than because McKay's not in, that's not fair to the other combined 100 players that have each done their part to help their teams get to the final.
So just to make a point, is it his last game?
I'm saying
Is it?
the shirt I'm wearing. So the potential.
The potential
Sure,
is
I like
that
it.
he played his last game.
Yeah.
Ronnie just
Is it
stir
his
the
last
pot,
game?
baby.
We're not there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting now. If Banting makes it through the next round, then obviously he'd be playable in the
Offset.
championship
Yeah.
in the offset game. So we'll definitely need to see what happens next Wednesday. But yeah, it's tough. As a head coach at the junior level, I was at the preseason meeting where the convener of the league literally stands up in front of the room and goes, "Guys, there's no appeal process." Let me repeat myself, no appeal process. And for a third time, just for good measure, there's no appeal. Once it's called, it's called. So, because in years past, there's been teams that have really put forward an effort to appeal a call. But once it's on the score sheet, it's kind of gospel at that point. So, yeah, unfortunate. I heard that there was a really close play, too, for South where they could have scored at the end, but it was a bad snap. Dre was telling me.
Yep.
And it was just it's just the way the cards are dealt that play, right?
Ironically, 14 had the same thing. He had a bad snap, but the dude's an athlete. He just bends down, grabs it, makes the play out of nothing.
Yeah.
But if we're going to move on, OH, buddy, go to the bright lights. That's a really Mickey Mouse call.
Yeah. So let's move to the CCH Lucas game. Joe, I appreciate you being with me on this one. Actually, a whole bunch of the Lucas guys were like, "Man, that Joe guy's our favorite guy on the podcast now." Yeah. You raised some, if you had your own, Cash App or Venmo or something like this, you might have got a little bit of love. Yeah. A bunch of the kids at Lucas were just like, "Man, Joe's our favorite guy now because you went to bat for them." But
I think I was right. I don't know if I said it on live or if I said this afterwards to you guys. Lucas had to score first, and they didn't.
And
then CCH just rolls guys. I've seen them do it for 20 plus years now, right?
Yeah. Well, and honestly, I kind of wish our little whiteboard discussion that we did pregame was live on this. But this game, as a Lucas guy, congratulations, CCH, big W. I know a lot of those kids on that team as well too. But this was straight up poor planning on the defensive side. Right? They were planning for that outside run. They were planning for Keybon, the jet. They were planning and just literally gave up the middle of the field. And it doesn't take too long for the running backs and the quarterbacks to go like, why can we drive a truck through the middle of this field right now? Right? And I coach there, and it pains me to even talk about this, but it was definitely that. Too skilled of an offense to be able to read. I mean, anybody should be able to read that the middle of the field is, you could drive a truck through it. And I think that's it. And I think, Everett, you made the point last week too of us probably just playing a lot of jump ball passes. It's exactly what happened. Our quarterback was just kind of just tossing it and saying a prayer at that point and to guys in triple coverage. So it makes for a long, painful day when defensively you're getting gashed for 12 to 14 yards up the middle and you just can't get things rolling. So hats off to the CCH guys. It was a good game, and I was just go ahead.
I was gonna say, so yes, if you're saying there maybe was some defensive scheming that maybe should have gone differently on Lucas's part, but like you said, you did give credit. If the gaps are still there, you still have to execute the plays. And CCH's offensive line had a field day with Lucas's defensive line and the front seven.
Oh yeah,
they made the running backs game look easy. As you said, there were some pretty big holes, but who makes those holes? It's the linemen.
Oh, yeah.
So, and they're running right at you. And as you said, if Lucas kept giving you the middle of the field, they're just a good football team, until you give them a reason to change what's working.
Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Oh, 100%. So it's, you got guys like Liam Davis and some of those other big boys, like Gio DeSando. Like,
Will Hunt.
There's a great photo from our end zone camera where it's just like Keyshawn Manning or Nathan Sims running right up the middle, and it's just Moses has parted the Red Sea. Like, it was like to the hash marks almost. So, hey, credit where credit's due. CCH's O-line showed up and just took full advantage of a defensive scheme that didn't make sense for your offense.
Speaking, you said parted the sea, so the Crusaders went into the stormy waters of Lucas and sunk the Viking ship.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Sent the Vikings home on a sinking ship. And I will say, my prediction, that was both the junior and senior teams of Lucas eliminated by the Crusaders.
It is, yeah. Hey, and you said it too, right? There was a bit of old bad blood there from when we showed up and torched it on alumni night. So
and that was a good game.
That was a heck of a football game.
A great football game.
This was a bit of a slaughter at Lucas last week.
Did you guys not run a 52? Like what?
Oh, they did.
No, we did. Yeah, yes, they did. And it just was.
Let me put it to you this way: Adam drew it up, and he said, "What would you do?" And it took me all of 2 seconds to go. I got a double team here. I got a double team there. There's a reach. Who's picking up the ISO? He's gone.
Yeah, it's tough, right? Yeah, obviously, these are friends of mine too who coach the defense, but poor planning, and it just we didn't have the bodies to run what we were looking to run there. So here it is. So and CCH moves on. So again, Joe, we appreciate the love for the Vikings in this one.
I've been a lineman. Like, I've been in the trenches on good teams and not so good teams, and when you're on the receiving end of something like that, it's tough to play a full game.
Yeah, definitely.
You fold, especially as 16, 17-year-olds.
Yeah, and it's difficult too, because at that D-line side of things, we've had some real dogs in the last couple of years, like the Harlan Luthers of the world, and obviously we still had Odin Jollymore there working his ass off, but he's only one end, right? And then you got 4 other guys in a 52 front, right? Linebackers were just too wide. Either way, CCH comes out with a nice 32-8 win over Lucas. Obviously, I get a little bit of dad props here because it's my boy was the one that scored the only point of the game, and man, did he have to earn that one, because Chappie came in hard. Like Mellard basically just put it in the basket, and then Chappie come right through. So
fade was the route.
It was. He was just running. Yeah, it was fade.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, just went for it, and on a muddy day, it was kind of nice, poetic. His last play as a Lucas Viking was a touchdown. So it's kind of a nice way to finish your career, right?
Be able to save, right? Yeah.
But so that basically wraps up all of our games from last week. So let's talk about what we've got coming up here. Here we go. Now, I did make a prompt. We're at the LMFA this weekend, and a bunch of kids who play in the junior side of it. Sorry, the camera's in the way, guys.
It's actually good because now I can look at it.
Perfect. Yeah, I did put it up. But yeah, so for you not here, there's a camera in front of us and a TV, and we've got the infinity thing going on. But everything's on that screen there. I guess we could all put our backs to the thing, but
that would make for good YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. There was a bunch of high school junior kids at the LMFA games this weekend, and they said, "Hey, you guys never talk about the junior games." So I said, "Well, no time like the present. We've got the final, so we can talk about that." The deal was also that they had to get the followers on the YouTube channel to 2750. Because it was at like 2724, and they got it to like 2752 or whatever it's at. So
give the people what they want.
Yep, exactly.
Give the people what they want.
So I mean, maybe next year we have a different group of guys talking about the junior teams, or it's all of us talking about like 32 games when we come here, right? So
I got nothing else to do. I can talk about 32 games.
Exactly. So now there's 3 games tomorrow, and then we've got the big one next Wednesday for the city finals. But let's talk about this for a minute. Obviously, we've got Ingersoll playing at St. Joe's. There's 2 games at Joe's tomorrow. This is the 11 a.m. game. Ingersoll sort of punched their ticket too. Very similar at the junior level to come up. So same thing here. Joe's at both levels has been very, very, very strong this year. So I'll get things kicked off here. I think based on what I've seen and the conversations I've had with a bunch of folks in St. Thomas, I think St. Joe's runs away with this one, and I think there's potentially a double championship win for Joe's tomorrow. But in this matchup, I'm going to take Joe's. So.
Well, to win 2 championships, you have to win the first one. And I think St. Joe's is going to get the first one done. I'm also going with St. Joe's.
All right.
Yeah, pretty much similar comments to what we've said here. St. Joe's junior team has been very strong so far this year, and with the game being played at home, I don't think St. Joe's has given us a reason to pick against them. I'm going St. Joe's as well.
Yep.
As an outsider, I feel St. Joe's runs like a true program. They still have an LMFA team.
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
The St. Thomas
so-
Hawks.
They start at age 7 or 8, and
Yep.
then you can work all the way up for 10 years. I know it doesn't really work like that, but there's some it works well. That
Continuation, yeah.
continuation.
The pipeline is there.
Yeah.
Well, the pipeline is there, but it's really split between Parkside and Joe's now, where it was really for for the Mo Brennan years. Really, it was really St. Joe's centric. It has really split because there was a bunch of Parkside guys involved with the program as well. So like the recruiting part of that, good players. There's only so many schools that play football in St. Thomas.
Yeah.
So you're either going to Parkside if you want to play ball, or you're going to Joe's. So it's the split now is quite even for the amount of kids going to each school.
Which explains a lot how the season kind of played out too.
Yeah.
No? Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I'm Joe's as well.
Yeah, and we saw a Hawks Bulldogs final
Yeah.
at U14 at the LMFA this weekend. So that Hawks program is very healthy. Josh Faulkner and
Yep.
Andrew are still there and doing a really good job. They're both, I think, Parkside grads from way back that have just
Yep.
stayed in it. So
Exactly.
some pretty solid stuff going on. I'll take a quick second to pause here before. So you're going Joe's though, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Before we get going here, Inspector Gadget, our good buddy
guy.
from last
There we
week,
go.
said that Joe was in Crocs barefoot in 8-degree weather.
I was.
Can confirm, right? So you've got,
How flexible am
got
I
a
still?
fan.
and he's in him still. So, obviously you've got a fan, like somebody's
they-
following you around.
You were at a
So-
game, or did you have the Crocs in sport mode? The
No.
kids in the hallways,
No.
they say, "Mr. H, these are in sport mode."
That's
Oh,
for
is that what
people-
the? Is that
That's
what the
if you flip the
Yeah, you put
put
this
it
little
back.
thing back.
sport mode.
Okay.
Oh, you
I
got to
don't-
be kidding me.
That's
Yes,
only for
that's
people with no balance.
Crocs
Gotcha.
in sport mode.
That
Well,
would be me.
And our good buddy Dylan Sherville is actually here in spirit in the chat, and he's going Joe's as well. Jacob as well is in the chat saying Joe's. So we'll check in. I know when I was looking at it earlier, the poll was at about 70% for Joe's as well too for this game. So I guess we'll find out in about 14 hours at this point.
If I can just say one more thing, Ingersoll has done a great job of building up a program. Okay, they've graduated a lot of players out, which is why the senior team, which pulled off a huge upset,
Yeah,
Yeah.
to get to the semifinals. But you can see, the good junior teams lead to the good
Oh yeah,
senior
2 years.
teams. Okay,
usually.
so the big difference is between 4-down football and 3-down football.
Which
Which,
I could
you know,
talk
it-
about that for a couple hours.
We
Lack
could
of
discuss ad
development.
nauseum at that, but a lot of the teams, why don't you see the juniors translate into good senior teams? Well, you've got to get out of that 4-down mode and switch to 3-down mode.
You've called plays offensively.
Yes.
You're defensive guy.
Yep.
You're doing
I'm
specials
special
right
team,
now.
Yeah,
It's very different calling 4 downs than it is calling
Oh,
3
yeah.
downs.
No, heck
I-
yeah.
Evan will
I-
see
yeah.
in the Jabroni League in
Yeah.
4 weeks.
I got news for you. If I have 4 downs,
Oh,
I
3
tell-
yards.
Power,
that-
power,
that's
power,
it.
power,
That's
power,
exactly
power,
it.
power.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And I don't hide what I'm gonna do. I'll tell you what I'm gonna run. You have to stop it. And I tell my kids, I don't need 4 downs, or I don't need 4 yards. I need 3, because if it's 4th and 1, and the defense has to give me a yard, we're going for it 100 times out of 100, and I've done it from my 10-yard line.
Which is why it's a weird combo of rules. Like if you're
Yeah.
gonna play 4 down, play no 1 yard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't-
Which we do.
We do.
Yeah, we
you
play-
don't have to.
Yeah,
get
your
in-
head's up.
At least in junior football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know
really?
about
Okay.
element.
So
the
the
minor
league makes
ball.
one
In
good
L-
decision.
in LMFA, but also in summer ball where they play 4-down ball,
Okay.
they do give the 1 yard.
Yeah.
So
on
you-
real fields too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
basically as a DC, you full on know if it's like 4th and 1, like
Reset.
you better hope that your kids aren't going to get called for going offside, because they got to fly. They should be anyways, but it's tough. But yeah, I would love to see the junior go to a 3-down system. I get it; they're trying to help the kids develop more, but it's like it's like a complete culture shock when you go up to senior, and all of a
for
sudden
sure.
it's like first down, second down, punt team, right? Like what? Like, yeah.
Second down, and you're
Yeah.
hearing punt alert, punt
Yeah.
alert.
If we're being serious, I think it's one reason we don't develop as many quarterbacks as we do linemen and running backs.
That's fair.
And like we somehow have developed a lot of safeties and
Hey,
stuff.
you know what? London's produced a few quarterbacks over the last few years.
Yeah,
you've
the
got
guy at Lucas
you've got
or,
you've
Laurier.
got I was gonna say you've got arguably one of the
The
best
best. He
quarterbacks
is the best.
in the province. Taylor Eggersma, who's out of Oak Ridge. He came out of the London area. DJ Fonte's another one. Trupish, who we're going to talk about in the next one. These are great quarterbacks. The quarterback play in the last 10, 15 years has really, really improved. Now, you do see the linemen still kind of dominating out of this area because they are London area teams are still much more run-centric teams.
Right. So okay, we're going on a huge tangent. Sorry, guys, but
Way off.
what does Hamilton do? Because I feel like Hamilton develops more quarterbacks and wide
They spread.
receivers.
They run spread.
Okay, so
They
that's
run a
why.
lot of spread.
I like it.
But it doesn't translate to the next levels because those quarterbacks. When was the last time in a tangent? When was the last time you heard a great quarterback coming out of Hamilton?
The guy at Western.
Okay, next one. He was out of Burlington.
Oh, don't
Yeah.
they?
Oh no
It's not amalgamated.
Isn't that
No.
the same league.
no.
Oh,
Burlington minor football and Hamilton minor football are two very, very different things. There's the Hamilton University Tiger Cats and there's the Burlington Stampeders. That is Hatfield and McCoy stuff. That is Windsor Essex for us London folk. They don't like each other. They don't play nice.
oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah. So well,
Learn something new every day.
yeah, let's jump back in. I do have the updated poll results. We got Joe's at junior, 77% to win right now. So let's move on to the Catholic Showdown, 2:15 tomorrow. I know this is going to be a beauty. Also at One Password Park, Catholic Central playing Mother Teresa. Are
you going to pick this game considering
Yeah.
you're going to be involved in it?
I mean, I can pick it.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
can give
I think the shirt tells you what his pick is
Yeah,
going to be.
gee, I
but
wonder.
yeah,
I'm not playing in the game.
Yeah.
I'm coaching. I'll be on the sidelines. Sorry, yes.
I like this matchup. It's kind of cool that it ended up being what would have been, like this probably would have been the how the heck was it?
It was the
the
would've been
Catholic final.
Yeah.
And then so it's kind of neat that this ends up being the actual final now. Studs on both of these teams, right? MTS has a bunch of kids. I had Hammers a couple of years ago. Isaiah Trotman, Noah Reese is the safety. I'd like to see them use Noah Reese more on a skilled offensive side of things. Like he's a great DB. He could play. He is the starting safety, but would love to see him get involved. But they got some dogs on this team too. Obviously, I lost to this CCH team, so I would love to see MTS take the win here. However, I think Trotman and a few of the other starters may still be down or banged up. So I think it'd be harder for them to really bring their full strength game against you. So fortunately, I'm taking CCH on this one.
Just say that again.
That's good.
Yeah.
CCH.
There
Okay,
we
all right.
go.
Yeah, I'm not
Wow.
singing the song though.
Welcome.
Okay.
Welcome.
So,
Lots of
Ron.
We've got St. Joe's, we got Catholic Central, and we got Mother Teresa. 3 of the 4 are Catholic schools.
Yeah.
I'm going to take, obviously I took St. Joe's in the earlier one, first Catholic win. I'm going to pick a Catholic team to win the second one as well.
No way.
Are you running for some type of office?
Yeah.
Very political of you.
With the election in the U.S. that happened yesterday,
Yeah.
heck no.
All right.
Anyway,
No
we're not
tangent
talking
to
about
that
that.
one. All right.
Anyway,
Football. all
Anyway,
right.
football. Catholic Central is a program that is traditionally better as the year goes on. And I just think there's too many athletes. I think they're too well coached. I know a bunch of the kids that are at Mother Teresa as well. I've seen them. We've called a bunch of their games.
Yep.
Catholic Central is a program. Mother Teresa has got a great team. I love to see the upset. I don't see it happening tomorrow. I'm taking CCH.
Okay. Sir, fill us
So
in.
I'm looking forward to this game. Obviously, being on the sideline for one of the teams, but in the junior tier, MTS went 5-0. We were fortunate to go 5-0, so it's a battle of two undefeated teams. As you said, a lot of players like studs on MTS, a lot of good players to go far in the playoffs. You got to have a lot of good players. So looking forward to seeing kind of a battle on battle, so to speak. CCH, for some kind of local history, football. CCH is fortunate. This is just facts. I'm not trying to jinx anything. The players might, but CCH is 4-time defending junior city champs, going for a kind of unprecedented 5-peat. And further back to that, since 2011 in junior football, CCH has been in the city final every single year since 2011. Haven't won it every year, but have been in the finals.
Yeah.
I like our team. Going to roll with the Crusaders, obviously, going for the 5-peat, but looking forward to a really good game. And, that's what you want. You just hope a good game, no injuries.
Yeah. I really hope, back to my point of with like guys like Trotman and Noah and Daylon Soar and Nico Soar's on that team too, is that they were really strong in the first half. A lot of guys playing both ways and things like that. And then, it was 23-0 at half. And we brought it back to almost winning. It was 23-22 was the final. Yeah. So they really ran out of gas once, those guys, they came back in the second half. They put a couple of their, second strings in too, trying to get some guys some reps. But, they really just didn't have enough in the tank. So I hope they're up to full strength so that you guys get a really good game tomorrow. So
our team, we were tested last week in the semifinals against Medway. We had some mistakes in the first half. Maybe weren't kind of as ready to play as maybe we would have liked to. But in the second half, our team fought really, really hard. They battled back. And what we saw on the sidelines was Medway kind of ran out of gas. Mm-hmm. And so our team, we like to think that we're very well conditioned, and that kind of held our guys played hard, battled hard, and they were ready. So if you're saying about being ready, I think our team is ready for a 4-quarter game.
100%. Joe, rounding us off.
I'm going with my heart. You don't make movies about teams that won 4 championships in a row. Fun little fact, I was the water boy at RMC in 1999 when my dad was coaching there. The tight end on that team, and he was also defensive end, they played at Waterloo and Western, was a huge influence on me football-wise. And his son is on the MTS team. So
nice.
I'm going to support them.
I like it.
JJ Jones.
Okay.
And the current Instagram poll has CCH at 71%. So
give the people what they want.
I like you coming in on this one, Joe, for sure. So let's move to the other Friday game tomorrow, and then we'll talk about the Wednesday game next week. So College Ave, St. Joe's. Obviously, we got a couple of doubleheader here at Joe's tomorrow. And why don't we start with you on this one, Joe?
I was surprised to see College Ave do as well as they did. But as I said in the junior game, I think St. Joe's runs a good program. They play really good football, and I think they win this division as well.
Okay.
This game, you said a doubleheader at St. Joe's. So this game is at St. Joe's. So they have a home game for their, call it city final or county, whatever division final.
When should I interrupt them?
Go ahead.
It's at Password?
No, it's not. Your athletic director disagrees with you.
Who?
The AD at CCH, Mr. Karowski, thinks home field advantage in high school football is make-believe.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we did have this conversation.
He was happy to play at Lucas because he thinks kids get too psyched up.
Wow.
Yeah.
We need to get him back on the cast.
Wow.
Yeah. Sorry.
But
go ahead,
so,
Everett.
No matter your thoughts on actual home field advantage.
He only books the boss. He's not your boss.
For those kids, he's a good friend of mine as well. For those kids at St. Joe's, to be able to say we had a championship game on our home field, as we know, is rare, very, very rare.
Yeah.
To even host a playoff game as Lucas was.
When you're a stone's throw for one Password as well,
exactly,
too.
right? So I think that's a special element that I hope those players are able to kind of recognize and appreciate. I think that adds, it's got to add, as well as St. Joe's has been playing. Their offense has been great, but College Ave's offense has equally been really well. They put up a shutout in their semifinal game. Last week I picked College Ave. My dad went to College Ave. I said you'd get the celebratory Fritzies after.
And you're taking me.
And it's Fritzies. You want to sponsor the program. It's a great institution.
We get like a
I
piece of
asked-
pie or something when we go there. Like you
In
know,
my
like-
picks, I asked Dad, I said, when you played, did you ever get to Wassa? He said, no, we never made it to OFSA, or never made it. We were more of a basketball school. My dad at College Ave, he won Wassa basketball when he went there. So couldn't shout that out. But I got to go St. Joe's on this, the Railway City. I think it's full steam ahead for the Rams. They're going to beat the Knights.
Now, Mr. Forwarda, I understand you might have a little bit of information on this game.
Yeah,
So fill us in.
St. Joe's has got the #1 defense on this side of the county or the Tier 2. St. Joe's has got the #1 offense in the county Tier 2. St. Joe's has got arguably the best special team, county or St. Joe, county or Tier 2. Home field advantage. Oh, we just lost
We're
my
still good.
gorgeous
It's just the
face.
camera.
Okay,
There
there,
we
we go.
Yeah.
St. Joe's has got a home field advantage, which is huge.
I agree.
But there's
Gretzky doesn't know what he's talking about.
but there's two factors in this game. There are two very, very large factors in this game by the name of Javon Roberts and Tyken Zaire. Javon Roberts, in the first time that these guys played each other in a punt fest,
Ooh.
okay, carried the ball twice for 60 yards and played defense the rest of the day. Tyken Zaire was having a nice lazy day on the beach in Spain during this game.
A ringer.
Also, the all-star kicker for Cass was not there. Those are three huge factors. I'm also going to go with another factor. This coaching staff, Ryan Sanford,
Danny Fitzgerald.
Danny Fitzgerald, these guys have
CCH.
won. These guys have won at this level before. 2 years ago, Cass upset Clark Road to win the Tier 2 championship. Cass wins the game, a close game, breaking the perfect season for St. Joe's, and celebrates on enemy soil. I'm taking the Knights.
I like it. Sherv's coming in too, saying Cass, and he's going to go as far as saying Roberts runs for 200 plus and 4 scores. Wow, that happens.
I really thought I was going to lone wolf it on this one.
Yeah,
It's a little parlay there.
Sherv's,
Yeah.
Sherv's got going.
We're right next to the Palisade, and wings are half price on Thursday again. If that happens, I'm buying you wings on a Thursday here, brother. Also says Zaire dominates the game. Yeah, I think this one's tough. I know more of the kids that play at College Ave than I do at Joe's. And the fact that, Roberts wasn't that involved, and Zaire even missed a couple because of getting kicked out too, speaking of that earlier too. So I think I would love to pick College Ave in this one, but I think I'm a home field guy, and I think Joe's is going to be riding. I think the junior team's going to win. It's going to carry the energy into the afternoon, and I think the senior team takes this. So we got about a 3-2 on this one, boys, but I think that's good. I mean, if we all just said the same thing, why would we be here, right? So that's good. Now, the big one, CCH, Sir Frederick Banting. Do we want to draw straws for who talks first, or I can go, right?
Go for it.
All right.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Dylan, jump in the chat too. Again, there's a bunch of people watching right now, so throw your stuff up in the chat right now and let us know your thoughts on this one.
Also, I know the board. This game is Wednesday, right?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, Wednesday,
does.
November 13th, right?
Oh, does it say that?
Yeah.
I'm
In
just
the
camera's
camera's
in my way.
100% in your way. Yeah, that's my bad.
No,
Next,
it's my bad.
when
it's
we
not
get-
your bad.
when
Why
we-
isn't that at Citywide?
you know what? Let's just get it as far away from London as possible.
I'm okay with that.
New rule: if the subscribers are up to 3,000 by next Wednesday, I'll stream this game.
Subscribers up to 3,000. I'll book a vacation day and we'll do it.
There you go. I like it. So we'd love to stream this. I'm going to try and make it work. But yeah, if you guys get it to 3K, we'd do it 100%. So let's talk about this game for a second. I think, obviously, we already talked about this a little bit earlier. McKay out of this game changes a lot of things. Yes, you still have Emmett Charles, and yes, you got Stahoviak, and you've got, he played for us as a fullback in the summer. big fullback that can get in there and make plays too. So Shervs, I know you know his last name. Put it in the chat. I want to see Banting have this, beautiful season that they're having right now. You guys have been to the show a lot, right? But I just think it's going to be tough. Obviously, they'll be making some adjustments. They've had a whole week, plus they get Monday, Tuesday next week to prepare for this game. And you know what? I'm not saying it. I'm taking Banting on this one.
No.
I'm not saying those 3 letters again, Mr. Everett. So,
Kindry. Damon?
Kindry is the guy.
Yeah.
He's the guy, 100%. I think he's solid. I think Kindry has a game, and we see what's happening. They're going to have to make a substitution. I think you and I were talking about this, or maybe it was you and I, Everett, earlier. Is like you've got to replace McKay at safety. Like that's right.
Yeah.
So I didn't mean to steal your point on that, or just I'll echo it because we did talk about it in the cast earlier. But no, I'm taking Banting on this one. Ron, hit me with it.
So the amount of flack that I took the first time this game happened, where I took CCH, and all the Banting people, like weeks later, it's like, I still can't believe that you took, Banting over CCH. It's like, well, prove me wrong, and you did. Unfortunately, I'm going to make the exact same error again. CCH has just got too many weapons. I think that they're building, like I said about the junior game, they always are better later the season goes on. And the fact that they played each other and you kind of saw each other's hand a little bit, I think CCH has got a little bit of adjustment. Not downplaying Banting's coaches. Listen, I want Banting to win this game. I really, really do. I just don't think you have enough this time. I'm going with the Crusaders.
Well, if you need the lyrics to the song, Sherville just threw
I
it up
am not
in here.
singing
As
anything.
well as shout out to QP Chris saying Agent Zero is going to have a field day. I'm curious if that's Trey Dog's dad.
Maybe.
Because I would assume he's Agent Zero, his jersey number. Yeah.
Trey Potter, yeah.
So, 100%. So, okay, well, we know who you're going to pick, Everett, but fill us in.
So, yes, McKay's going to be out of this game, and Charles, at least in their last game, filled in at quarterback and did a good job. That's the right, as you said, that's the right move to do. But he's also their one option, their one receiver, best receiver, one of the best basketball players in the city, as far that I understand, a solid athlete. So yes, he can fill in and play quarterback, but he can't throw the ball to himself, right? So that kind of maybe takes away a throwing option for Banting. But what Banting has done, again, football is not a one-person team.
No.
Football is a team sport. Banting, their coaching staff over the last few years, they've built a good program up. They run the ball well, they're physical, a good team. Just because one player isn't there, next man up mentality. You don't go to a show at the Grand Theater and say, hey, you know what, our lead performer is down. The back end's going to go, oh, I don't want to go, I'm leaving. No, the game still has to be played. The show must go on. So I think that there's still lots to account for if you're CCH. They run the ball really well. They're very physical. I think that CCH's defense, their front line, as you saw in that Lucas game, CCH's defense has been stellar all year. Trey's been great. Chappie, all the guys. They'll tell me tomorrow that I didn't shout them out, but I'll shout them out. The defense has been great. CCH also has been running the ball extremely well. They ran it well. It's just a well-oiled machine, I think, for Crusaders. And we know in football, it's really hard to beat a team twice in a season, especially CCH.
Yeah.
Those guys, those coaching staff and the players, they do not want to lose. Also, Banting last year knocked CCH out of the playoffs in the quarterfinals. And to that point, and up to this point, that has been Banting's, as a football program, their biggest win. I know they talked about it. They celebrated winning a quarterfinal game at their year-end banquet. That's giving really championship banner, participation trophy type of vibes. But
I like
for that
Shots
point,
fired.
CCH knows that.
Fuel to the flames here.
I like it.
As I said, it's the first city final for Banting. Awesome. Very much accomplished. A great team, a great season. But if you want to celebrate, in their banquet this year, Banting, you're going to be celebrating making it to the city final because CCH, the Crusaders, are going to buck the Broncos. I said Kramer early on. Giddy up. The Crusaders are going to win. On Crusaders.
There it
on.
is.
And we are going to win. Tyson Sherpa. And with our juniors, my pick, the juniors, hopefully we're fortunate to win tomorrow, city final, and the seniors will win. That'll be the first time a team has held both the senior and junior since 2021. Do you want to take a guess what school would have held that?
Beal.
CCH again.
Oh,
Crusaders.
geez,
On Crusaders.
Well done. Well, Joe, Inspector Gadget making a comment here saying Jackson McKay 2, CCH 0, but he's not in the game, as Dylan Sherville just made the comment too. We like you, Inspector Gadget.
Yeah, we
so
do like it.
Let's be careful here, bud. So let's send it to you, Mr. Harris.
I think I said this in the regular season. That was the game of the year.
Yeah.
And now we get a repeat of it.
Yeah.
And it held up to that. Like, it was close. It was
That was a great football game.
last drive, interception, so questions there on some things. McKay, you can replace at quarterback. The dude hits so hard.
Yeah.
And I don't really appreciate defense that much. So, like,
That's giving a lot for you to say those things.
well, there's other stuff I'd say, but I'm not going to say that something that's going to be public domain. And you're right. Putting one there, you run out of the.
You don't run out of,
well,
but
yeah,
it
it
yeah.
limits it. But Ron, you had said previously, the later you get in Canadian football, you have to be able to run the ball. Banting's still going to be able to run the ball. They'll still have a dynamic runner in that regard. He just doesn't have. He can't throw to himself. He can try, which I would love to see.
Yeah, you're right.
I've seen punters do it.
I got news for you. There's a guy who's playing running back for Banting, Kovan Sojakovic. He's a great receiver. Okay?
Yeah, I love
Put Kovan out in the slot, throw him out, give him a shot. That kid's
Run a
got great
jet?
hands. Yep.
Yep, he's quick.
Actually, one of the fastest kids in the city.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like really, really good hands. And he's played a lot of running back. He plays a lot of defense. They do have pass options. It's what are they going to come out with?
Yep.
So, just echoing my stuff later because I don't know how late we're getting here, but I said it was a Mickey Mouse call by the refs last week. I think it's Mickey Mouse having this game at 2:15 on a Wednesday. If we want to grow the sport, we got to do better in both regards. I'm going refs.
Wow.
Wow.
They won it last week.
Wow.
That is the meme where it's who's the actor who wore like an NFL hat to the game?
Yeah.
That's like just hit. You have the sign. I just hope both teams have fun.
Yeah.
That's like that. What that pick is. That's the energy that's giving.
It is. Well, sometimes with CCH people, I wonder if they ever see that meme online where the guy's like, "Are we the baddies?"
You know, it's people like to. People don't like success.
It's tough.
It's hard.
It's tough. Well, let's talk about the poll for a second, where is currently winning 310 votes to 215 for a Banting W at 59%. So that'll be up until tomorrow, guys. So and then obviously, yeah, Wednesday, I would love to, if nothing else, get a basic stream up. Yes, it is at 1Password for who knows what reason.
It's actually so convenient for me to go to.
Yeah, exactly.
I live by the highway.
Oh, it'd be great. So
I work in Strathroy.
Yeah.
It's not convenient for me.
in the Vegas.
The
Strath
other
Vegas.
place, right?
If
Citywide's even further, no? From
No, I
Strathroy?
live 5 minutes from City.
he
Wall.
works in
He's
Strathroy.
going
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Ronnie's a 3-minute or a 3-smoke walk from his place over
Yeah.
over to Citywide. So don't smoke, kids.
One smoke in the car. Or
Yeah,
three
there
on
you
the
go.
walk.
But yeah, but a huge game. Dialing it back in here right now. 2 picks CCH, 3 picks with Shervs. I'm going Banting. We got a refs pick over here, and I think it's gonna be huge. If you're in St. Thomas and own a Skyjack and would like to get me or a camera guy higher than ground level for that stream, please hit me up or find somebody who knows who I am, and let's make that work because I'd like to not film from a ladder. or something like that. Because again, just another beautiful field here in southwestern Ontario that has zero raised up platforms to film from. So if we're going to stream the game, it needs to not be from ground level. So we'll hopefully get the logistics worked out for that, guys. And really, you know, we'll kind of wrap there. I think we've got our picks in. It's been a really cool recap from last week as well, too. I want to thank Mr. Caranci for throwing this crazy show together and being not involved in it past just sending me a text.
He's a consultant.
Yeah,
That's all he
really
is.
just I'm not even really sure I know this guy. He's
facilitator.
kind of a phantom. He showed up at the game last week. I talked to him for a second. He said, "Hey, the show's really good, by the way." But no, this has been great. So yeah, I just want to thank you guys and Shervs, who, despite getting stuck at home, couldn't make it tonight, still very involved in the chat. Hopefully we get to do this again next year. So, or, you know, for summer or whatever. Ideally, we just circle back when we get back to high school ball next year. But I just want to appreciate everybody for tuning in. Definitely get in the poll on Insta as well, too, and let us know your thoughts on the games. And good luck to all the players tomorrow, right? Obviously, we're here talking and yapping and all this. Those guys are having a good night's sleep, getting hydrated right now, and just getting ready to put the work in tomorrow. So, Ron, final thoughts?
Final thoughts. You know, championship games, they don't come along very often. You made it there. Make sure you take time to enjoy the moments because they don't come along very often.
Love it. Love it. Guys, final thoughts?
No, this has been great. I think it's hopefully it's got people excited about high school football in the city, which is kind of what I think this was the idea for this was, and I think it's worked. So
Yeah.
glad.
A lot of people, I keep getting comments comparing what we're doing to something, I guess, that used to be on like CTV London that doesn't exist anymore, which is kind of cool. So I never experienced that here, like, you know, watching that here in town. But hey, if you guys are getting something out of it, then that's fantastic. Anything to wrap up here, Joe?
Nope.
Okay, cool. Well, London Football TV live for the last time. Maybe we'll do a little recap show after the champs. We'll find out. But if not, this version of it is done, at least for 11 months or 10 months or whatever this looks like. So appreciate everybody, and good luck to all the players.